What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Now, a quick little side note I'm just going to put in here before we get into the actual video. I recorded some stuff for the main stage for the end of year video. Shout out the main stage, shout out Ewan. I had the cans on for doing some reacting to some stuff, just didn't take them off. Recorded this video, recorded another video, and both of them I've just got the cans on the whole time for no reason, because I forgot to take them off, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm aware it looks stupid, and I don't think in any of them I refer over to anything over here that I would need them for. So for both this video and the other video that you'll see where I've just got these headphones on for the whole time, don't worry about it, I just forgot to take them off. Here's the actual video now. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're here to talk about WWE ID, and in particular the newest person ID'd by the program. So, just yesterday, Thursday the 21st of November, there was a freelance wrestling show in Chicago. Just double check. Freelance wrestling show in Chicago, in which, technically, ex-AEW star Kylie Rae was ID'd and given her WWE ID contract. Kylie was offered her WWE ID contract at the show, and then in a tweet, or I guess a post made on a tweet on her Twitter account, said, "I made a lot of mistakes in my life, but sometimes life gives us another chance. Thank you at WWE ID, feeling blessed." And I'm very, very, very incredibly happy for Kylie Rae. I just got to preface this, because there's just going to be me moaning, by saying I'm incredibly fucking happy for Kylie Rae. I think Kylie Rae is one of the best and most underrated wrestlers in the scene. I think when AEW picked her up, I'd already been a little bit of a fan for a while. When AEW picked her up at the start, I was absolutely a massive fan, and it was very, very clear that they were going to build that women's division around her. Now, there were personal struggles in her life. She asked to be released from her contract. She, I believe, was battling alcohol addiction. She spoke very openly about a lot of stuff like that. Kylie was just not in the right headspace to be in AEW at that time, be on national TV at that time, carry the division, be the focal point of the division at that time. And I think when you watch back early AEW, it's quite obvious that all of the plans were centered around Kylie Rae. Obviously, the biggest name in that division that they signed at the start was Britt Baker, but all the fans were obsessed with Kylie Rae. Everyone was intrigued with Kylie Rae. Everyone wanted it to just be Kylie Rae. And I think when she left, obviously they had the women's title tournament, and Riho was a great first champion. I love Riho, but at the time, realistically, when the company was born, it was never going to be Riho. It was always going to be Kylie Rae. And I think a lot of early sort of women's division booking relied heavily on, oh shit, who's can we get over from Japan to just put on a banger so we can work out where this goes. In the years since she left AEW, she's been touring the indies, making an absolute name for herself. She has had banger matches all over the globe. Off the top of my head, there was the one against Billy Starks earlier this year, I believe it was. She had a match with Mike Bailey in GCW, I think. She had a match with Alex Shelley, which was really, really good. She had a match with Tessa Blanchard and Warrior Wrestling that was really, really good. Kylie Rae has just been touring the globe, putting on banger after banger after banger, cementing herself as one of the best in the world. And with WWE ID there to identify these excellent independent wrestling talents and make sure that they are being supported financially and things like that, so that WWE can then maybe one day bring them onto a full-time WWE contract. I don't think there's many people out there on the independent wrestling circuit more deserving of this opportunity than Kylie Rae, and I don't think there's many people out there better than Kylie Rae. However, my issue stems from this. Kylie Rae is already a very well established name in the scene and fairly well in the mainstream. Even to like a casual wrestling fan, they might go, was Kylie Rae not in AEW right at the start? That's some of that company had enough faith to just put the whole women's division on the back of and let her go forward. And Kylie Rae is one of the names out of everyone that's been ID'd so far. She's the only one that feels like the cut above. And I understand they need that big name to be like, oh, ID isn't just for young up and comers, it's for more established talent as well. But someone with Kylie Rae, does she not just feel more deserving of an outright NXT offer? Now, I don't know the ins and outs of the situation. Maybe she was offered an NXT contract and she said, I'm not willing to relocate. I'm happy wherever I am. I'm happy doing my own thing. And that is completely fine. But at the same time, you would think, if she was willing to turn down an NXT offer, why would they just give her a WWE ID offer? And I understand that the NXT Women's Division is probably the single best division out of the big two companies on all brands. In all divisions, I think the NXT Women's Division right now is probably the most complete division in American professional wrestling. I think it'd be pretty hard to argue a case for almost anything else apart from this. Obviously, the AEW men's sort of Upper mid card, I guess, the sort of not world title feud stuff going on right now, like Takeshita, Ospreay, Don Callis family, Ricochet, Davis is back, like all this stuff is obviously really, really good. That's all kind of tied around in the one story anyway. I think the NXT Women's Division is just fucking stacked and knocking it out the park on every single show. Maybe that's why you don't want to offer Kylie Rae just an outright NXT deal. You don't want her to come in and get lost in the shuffle. But she feels bigger than this. IDing one of the biggest stars on the indies and IDing someone who has already been at the biggest level, although not for long, who is a veteran of the indie scene, who has been doing this for a long time, who was enough for AEW to, like I say, want to put their division on her back to start with. Why should she be on the tier below that? Why should she be on this deal where we might not even sign you in the end? And I think WWE ID, to me, it feels incredibly beneficial to maybe the people who weren't quite able to make wrestling their full-time job yet. A lot of the people that I've been seeing ID'd, and if you know me, you know how much fucking wrestling I watch and consume and follow and keep up to date with. A lot of these people that have been getting ID'd, I'm not familiar with. There's a guy, Evil Gay, was that his name? I don't know who the fuck that is. I'm into it. Nickname like the Evil Gay, I'm into it. This guy I'm already a big Evil Gay guy. And that was before I found out who this guy was. But a lot of these guys I've not been entirely familiar with. I knew Cappuccino Jones. I mean, with a name like that, it was hard not for me to discover you on Twitter and immediately fall in love. And I also obviously knew Jack Cartwheel. But apart from everyone else here, there isn't a name that I am overly familiar with, and a good few of these names that I hadn't heard of before they'd been ID'd. But these guys, like your Jack Cartwheel, like your Cappuccino Jones, they feel on that sort of lower to mid indie sort of guy. Whereas a Kylie Rae feels up there. She feels to me maybe just half a tier below a guy like a Matt Cardona. Wrestling is her full-time thing, I assume. Or if it's not, she is able to make it her full-time thing. She is a name that a lot of people know, and she is a name that will obviously benefit from this WWE ID thing. But I also think with a name like that, why are we not just giving her the NXT deal? To me, this kind of feels like maybe they're worried she is getting ready to sign somewhere and they just don't want her to sign somewhere. At the end of the day, one of the major things of the WWE ID contract is this. If another company, be it AEW, TNA, New Japan, Noah, like any of these companies, offer you a contract, you can then go to WWE and say, hey, I've been offered this contract by, I don't know, let's say New Japan. New Japan have offered me all this contract, all this money to move over to Japan and be a part of New Japan. What are you going to do about this? And then they can either say, that's actually too rich for our blood, you go and enjoy yourself in Japan, or they can go, we're going to match that, you're now on an NXT deal. To me, this feels like they're worried that Kylie's sort of recent resurgence is going to lead to maybe AEW reopen negotiations there and say, hey, I understand when we first worked together, you were not in a good space to be here, but now that you've had a few years away from the company, building your name back up, do you maybe want to come back in, especially because the women's division has been a little bit all over the place and kind of needs some star power, maybe. And to me, this feels like they're going to Kylie Rae, you are one of the biggest names currently available on the independent circuit with no true affiliation. Here you go. We have absolutely no intention of signing you, but this is just in case someone else goes, holy shit, Kylie Rae still isn't signed. The cynic in my brain and the part of my brain that remembers NXT UK is incredibly worried that this is just that. And now, maybe the plan is to sign Kylie Rae to an NXT deal, and this is them just going, you're the highest profile name out there right now, one of the highest profile names out there right now. If we sign you to a WWE ID deal first, this puts a lot of legitimacy on the WWE ID program. You can continue to do indie dates for 6 months to however long, 6 months to a year maybe, and then after that we'll go, oh hey, here's your full-time NXT deal, pack your shit up, move to Florida, be at the PC, have a great time. But I'm cynical and have seen NXT UK. So that's just what I kind of wanted to come on here and say about that. I extend all my love and well wishes to Kylie Rae, as I always have. She's one of my favourite wrestlers, has been for a very long time. I think she's fantastic, and I think she deserves all the successes in the world. However, as I said, the cynic in my brain is a little bit weary as to why she has been ID'd and not just given an outright NXT contract. But let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm just being an old cynic. Let me know if I'm just an AEW stan. I'm just an AEW mark and I hate WWE or any of that stuff. Let me know if you also kind of share these feelings as well. Let me know that I'm insane because the only WWE ID names I knew were Jack Cartwheel and Cappuccino Jones, and I didn't know. Pretty sure I saw one called Bryce Donovan. Marcus Mathers, I knew that name actually. I'm talking shit. Bryce Donovan, I did. Let me know I'm insane because I didn't know who Bryce Donovan was. That's not shit on Bryce Donovan. Sorry about that, bro. First name that came to mind. But yeah, let me know what you think of the situation down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All that good YouTube stuff. Show us to your mates who love wrestling. Be like, look at this handsome man. Hasn't he got good opinions on wrestling? Or show them and go, look at this handsome man. Doesn't he have bad opinions on wrestling? Either way, as long as you call me a handsome man with wrestling opinions, we're good. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.